Hello everyone, welcome to MedTuber. In this video, we will be learning the anatomy of heart and the conducting system of the heart and few conditions of the heart like angina pectoris, myocardial infarction, coronary artery bypass, and so on. Now let's see the anatomy of the heart. Actually, heart in males weighs 300 grams and female weighs 250 grams. It is a hollow muscular organ which is pyramidal. Coming to the external features of the heart consists of an apex, base, 3 surfaces, and 4 borders. Coming to the apex of the heart is formed by the left ventricle and it is present at the level of 5th intercostal space. Clinically, the apex beat is present in the 5th intercostal space. The outermost and lowermost thrust of cardiac contraction in front of the chest is apex beat, and it is a point of maximum cardiac impulse. Dextrocardia is a right-sided heart in which the right-sided apex will be there, and if there is complete reversal of the thoracic and abdominal viscera, it is known as situs inversus. Coming to the base of the heart, which is formed 2/3 by the left atrium and 1/3 by the right atrium. It is a posterior surface and opposite is the apex. The base of the heart is present in front of T5 to T8 vertebra. It is important MCQ, and it is separated from the vena cava oblique sinus. Coming to 3 surfaces of the heart, there are sternocostal surface, which is superficial thing, and diaphragmatic surface on left. Sternocostal surface, which is formed by right atrium, right ventricle, which is divided by atrioventricular groove, and left ventricle. Coming to the diaphragmatic surface, which is flat and formed by left ventricle, right ventricle, which are divided by posterior interventricular groove. Coming to the left surface, is formed by left ventricle mainly. Coming to 4 borders of the heart, they are right, left, inferior and upper borders. Right border, these are individual MCQ that can be asked. Right border of the heart is formed by right atrium, opening of the superior vena cava, opening of the inferior vena cava there. Left border of the heart are formed by left ventricle and left auricle to the apex. Coming to the inferior border of the heart, it is formed by right atrium, opening of inferior vena cava, the apex of heart. Coming to chambers of the heart, actually demarcation of chambers of the heart are made by coronary sulcus, that is atrioventricular groove. There is a groove present between atria and ventricles. If you take this right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, this is the coronary sulcus. Atrioventricular groove, which divides atria from the ventricles. Then heart is also demarcated by anterior interventricular sulcus. This is between the ventricles and it is anterior sulcus, and posterior interventricular sulcus, this is posteriorly present. Coming to the coronary sulcus, that is atrioventricular groove, it consists of anterior part and the posterior part. Anterior part, there are right half and the left half. Right half is between right atrium and right ventricle, and it lodges coronary artery. And left auricle or left ventricle, left half lodges circumflex branch of left coronary artery. Coming to the posterior part, it lodges coronary sinus. Anterior interventricular sulcus, it is present on the sternocostal surface, and it lodges anterior interventricular artery and great cardiac vein. These are important MCQ. Posterior interventricular sulcus is present on the diaphragmatic surface of the heart and it lodges posterior interventricular artery and middle cardiac vein. Now we'll see the chambers of the heart. Coming to the right atrium. Usually from the right atrium, a small outpouching is present. It is called auricle. As we can see in this diagram, this is the auricle. We will look at external features and internal features of right atrium. Coming to the external features of right atrium, usually right atrium is elongated vertically with the superior vena cava at the upper end and the inferior vena cava at the lower end. And upper anterior part is known as right auricle. Margins are notched, as we can see in this diagram. Margins are notched and overlaps ascending aorta and infundibulum. There is shallow vertical groove inside the right atrium, which is known as sulcus terminalis, which is between the opening of superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, and where the SA node is present. Then coming to the right atrioventricular groove, it lodges right coronary artery and small cardiac vein. Now let's see the diagram. This is the right atrium. This is the opening on the upper side of the right atrium, superior vena cava opening. On the lower side, inferior vena cava opening, which is guarded by a valve of inferior vena cava. And this is the auricle. There is a crista terminalis, to which musculi pectinea are attached. And above the opening of the inferior vena cava, there is a fossa ovalis, which is bounded by annulus ovalis. This is the septal part of right atrium, interatrial septum. Between the inferior vena cava opening and the right atrioventricular orifice, that is tricuspid valve, there is an area where the coronary sinus opens. It is guarded by the valve of coronary sinus. And there are also many openings of venae caudes minimi into the right atrium. Coming to the internal features of right atrium, sinus venerum, which is a smooth part of the right atrium, and atrium proper is a rough part, and there is crista terminalis. Coming to the septal wall of the right atrium, it consists of fossa ovalis, which is a oval depression in the lower part, and annulus ovalis is upper and lateral margin of fossa ovalis. And coming to the triangle of Koch, this is important MCQ. It is bounded front by septal leaflet of tricuspid wall, behind by coronary sinus opening, and above by the tendon of Todaro. And it has AV node in it. Coming to the openings into the right atrium. Opening of superior vena cava, which has no valve. Opening of inferior vena cava, which has a valve. And opening of coronary sinus, which has a valve, the Sebaceous valve between inferior vena cava and right AV orifice. The right AV orifice is also known has a right tricuspid valve, which is the largest opening, and small orifice also present of venae caudae minimi. Coming to the right ventricle, it communicates with the right atrium through right atrioventricular orifice and pulmonary trunk through pulmonary orifice. Coming to the external structures of the right ventricle forms the sternocostal surface, diaphragmatic surface, and inferior border of the heart. It is separated from right atrium by the anterior part of coronary sinus. Coming to the internal features, there are two parts of right ventricle, that is a larger inflowing part and infundibulum, which can be demarcated by supraventricular crust. Then the cavity is the cavity of right ventricle is crescent shaped, and the wall is thinner than the left ventricular wall. It consists of trabecular carinae. These, as we can see in these pictures, these are trabecular carinae. These are the muscular projections that give ventricular chamber sponge-like appearance. There are three types. There are ridges, bridges, and pillars. Now we'll see the picture of right ventricle. This is a crescent-shaped cavity. The right atrial chamber and the right ventricular chamber are divided by a tricuspid valve. This is the tricuspid valve, which contains three cusps. And this is the infundibulum, and there is a pulmonary valve which demarcates from the pulmonary trunk. There are anterior papillary muscles and posterior papillary muscles. Coming to the valves, these valves actually prevent regurgitation of blood backwards. The atrioventricular valves and semilunar valves. Atrioventricular valves divide atria from the ventricles. There are right atrioventricular valves and left atrioventricular valves. Right atrioventricular valve is known as tricuspid valve. Left atrioventricular valve is known as bicuspid or mitral valve. Mitral valve has cups smaller but thicker. These atrioventricular valves are made of fibrous ring cusps. These valves are closed during ventricular systole. Then coming to the semilunar valves, these valves are present between the right ventricle and the pulmonary trunk and the left ventricle and the aorta, so named as such, aortic valve and pulmonary valve. These have three cusps attached to the aorta. This is a cross section of the heart where we can see all the valves. Coming to the connecting system of the heart, there is initiation and connection of cardiac impulse. There are 5 components in the connecting system of heart. There are SA node, sinoatrial node, AV node is atrioventricular node, bundle of His, right and left branches of bundle of His, and subendocardial Purkinje fibers. Coming to the arterial supply of the conducting system, mostly by right coronary artery, except the left branch of bundle of His, which is supplied by left coronary artery. Now we will see the conducting system of the heart. From the impulse is generated from the SA node. This is a primary pacemaker of the heart in the upper part of the sulcus terminalis, just below the opening of superior vena cava. It initiates the impulse, which is passed on to the AV node. AV node is above the attachment of septal cusps of coronary sinus, and the intrinsic firing rate of AV node is 60 beats per minute. From there on, AV node goes on to the bundle of His. From there, it gets the impulses get transmitted onto the right bundle branch and left bundle branch and onto the subendocardial Purkinje fibers. Usually, the conducting system defects causes cardiac arrhythmias. If there is an atherosclerosis of coronary arteries, there will be AV bundle fails to conduct the normal impulses. There will be alteration in rhythmic contraction of the ventricles, leading to arrhythmias. What is arrhythmia? Arrhythmia is nothing but an irregular pulse. Tachycardia is a rapid pulse, and slow pulse is the bradycardia, usually less than 60 beats per minute. Coming to the arterial supply of the heart. Heart is supplied by right coronary artery and left coronary artery. Right coronary artery is originated from the anterior aortic sinus, and the left coronary artery is originated from the left posterior aortic sinus. Coming to the right coronary artery course, this is important. see in this diagram, it takes origin from the ascending aorta and moves downwards between the pulmonary trunk and the right auricle, and moves vertically down in the right atrioventricular groove and notches around the inferior border of the heart to go backwards of the heart and anastomosis with left coronary artery. The branches of right coronary arteries is right conus artery, which supplies infundibulum of right ventricle, atrial branches and anterior ventricular branches, posterior ventricular branches, and posterior interventricular artery, which supplies posterior part of interventricular septum, AV node, and right and left ventricles. Coming to the left coronary artery, which originates from the left posterior aortic sinus, it takes its origin and moves downwards between the pulmonary trunk and left auricle, and it divides into anterior interventricular artery and circumflex artery. And into the anterior interventricular artery moves in the anterior interventricular groove and goes to the apex, goes posteriorly, and posterior interventricular too ends by anastomosing with the posterior interventricular artery. Branches of left coronary artery, anterior interventricular artery, or left anterior descending artery, that is LAD, which supplies anterior part of interventricular septum, right ventricle and left bundle of His, and also gives rise to circumflex artery. This is a left marginal artery which supplies left ventricle, and also gives rise to diagonal artery, conus artery, and atrial branches. Now we'll see in the diagram. This is the ascending aorta. Right coronary artery is getting originated from it and moving downwards and notching around the inferior border of the heart and going backwards to get anastomosed to left coronary artery branch. Now this is left coronary artery, which is getting originated and moving downwards between the pulmonary trunk and the left auricle, and dividing into two branches, the circumflex artery, which is going backwards, and anterior interventricular artery, which is moving in the anterior interventricular groove, which is vertically going downwards and notched onto the inferior border of the heart to go backwards and to get anastomosed with posterior interventricular artery. Actually, there are these anastomoses are between the terminal branches of coronary arteries. If there is any occlusion, if there is slow occlusion, there will be no time for collateral circulation. If there will be time for collateral circulation, but if there is a sudden occlusion, no collateral circulation can be attained. So there will be ischemia and infarction, which leads to infarction. Coming to some terminologies, angina pectoris. Angina pectoris is a pain in the left precordium which lasts for around 20 minutes. This pain gets referred to left shoulder, medial side of the arm and forearm. It is relieved by rest, the main important thing, and which can be exaggerated on exertion and coronary. This actually, the angina pectoris is due to narrowed coronary arteries. There will be reduced blood supply to the cardiac muscle. So on exertion, the coronary arteries are still more narrowed. That ischemia of the cardiac muscles occur on exertion. Then coming to myocardial infarction, this is due to myocardial ischemia. There will be sudden block of larger branch of coronary artery, usually LAD most commonly. And the features of myocardial ischemia of pain longer than 30 minutes. In angina, it is 20 minutes. And symptoms of nausea, vomiting, sweat, shortness of breath, tachycardia. The referred pain will be towards medial side of the arm, forearm and hand, and also to jaw or neck. The sites of coronary artery occlusion, most commonly it's LAD 40 to 50%, and right coronary artery is 30 to 40%, and circumflex branch of left coronary artery is 15 to 20%. And usually coronary angiography localizes site of block of coronary arteries. Coming to the coronary bypass bypass surgery. This is done in patients with unstable angina. What is the surgery is it shunts blood from aorta to the coronary artery distal to the blockage. Let's see in this picture. See, in this picture there are two blocks. One block is in right coronary artery and one in the branch of left coronary artery, that is LAD. So we are grafting the blood directly from the aorta into the coronary artery that is distal to the block in both sides. So this graft can be a venous graft or an arterial graft. Usually these grafts are taken from great saphenous vein and left internal mammary artery, that is LEMA. Great saphenous vein is easily dissected and diameter is equal or greater than coronary artery, and it's provide good length of the graft. Then coming to the venous drainage of heart. The main venous drainage is the coronary sinus, which opens in the right atrium. This is the largest vein of the heart. This is an important MCQ, and it develops from left horn of sinus venosus and common cardinal vein. And there are also anterior cardiac veins that open into the right atrium and small veins. And venae caudes minime are extremely small veins that are drained into all the four chambers. All that in this we can see all the tributaries, venous tributaries: the great cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, small cardiac vein, posterior vein of left ventricle, oblique vein of left atrium, left marginal vein, and right marginal vein. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, please subscribe to MedTuber. Thank you.